Welcome back to The Explainer. So, if you're looking into how small scale agriculture can literally transform a life, a family, or even a whole community, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into the complete blueprint for backyard and small poultry farming. We're going to break down everything: the educational pathways, the financial support systems, and the exact traits you need to make it in this totally accessible, super rewarding space. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. To really grasp what this kind of farming can do, we've got to look at a real-world story. Take Jan Singh, for example. He's from Barmadi village, and man, his family was going through some intense hardship. Jan had suffered a horrific accident, leaving him completely unable to work his usual daily wage labor jobs. That was his entire livelihood. So he's standing at this absolute crossroads, facing a really bleak future. But as we'll see, poultry farming ended up being an incredible lifeline. He literally turned everything around. Instead of giving up, he leaned in. He found an agriculture training scheme and took this focused 7-day poultry training course in Sundarnagar. Armed with that new knowledge, he built a proper, permanent, or pakka, well-ventilated shed. And he didn't even have to foot the whole bill alone. He tapped into some initial government financial help. Next thing you know, he's bringing in chicks, birds, feed, the whole shebang. It's just a fantastic turnaround. Now, he's reinvesting his profits to grow the farm. And the coolest part is that his success spread like wildfire. Families in his village who had zero idea about this profession are suddenly taking notice. He's become a massive community inspiration. Section 1. Do you have what it takes? Essential personality traits. You know, succeeding here isn't just about liking birds. You actually need solid communication skills. You're going to be talking to suppliers, negotiating with buyers, maybe chatting with government officials. And you should kind of like putting things together. Remember Jan building that shed? There's a ton of hands-on work, but really, the absolute foundational tools here: good analytical skills and being hyper-organized. You're tracking feed, monitoring animal health, balancing the books. Being organized isn't just a nice-to-have, it's completely mandatory to keep the farm running smoothly. Moving on to Section 2. Building your foundation, educational pathways, and top institutes. The sheer variety of educational paths here is honestly pretty impressive. If you want that deep, formal foundation, you've got undergraduate options. A BSc in agriculture or horticulture takes about 4 years, while a Bachelor of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry is a 5-year commitment. Or you could fast-track with a 2 to 3 year diploma in agricultural science. On the flip side, if you already have a degree and want to level up, there are postgrad routes, like a 2-year master's in agriculture or an MBA in agribusiness management. It just goes to show this is a highly professionalized space with very clear academic tracks. 10,000 to 50,000 Indian rupees. That's the estimated course fee for a bachelor's degree in this field. Just think about that for a second. It brilliantly highlights how accessible this top-tier education actually is. It's a totally achievable investment in your future. And there is a massive network of premier government institutes ready to give you that world-class training. You've got places like the IVRI in Izatnagar, NDRI in Karnal, Assam Agricultural University, TNUVS down in Chennai, PAU in Ludhiana, MAFSU in Nagpur, and CPET in Hyderabad. Essentially, no matter where you are, top-tier facilities are out there waiting to train the next wave of farmers. Section 3. Your financial arsenal. Scholarships and loans. Okay, let's talk money, because these financial support systems are designed specifically to completely remove the barriers to entry. First up, the National Scholarship Portal, or NSP, is your go-to for central schemes in agriculture. Need skill development? The PMKVY, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, is fantastic for getting trained up in small farming and poultry. Then there's the National Horticulture Mission for direct financial backing, plus a whole bunch of state government schemes tailored to specific things like goat farming, beekeeping, or small poultry. These are incredibly powerful tools you definitely want in your arsenal. If you're looking at taking out a loan, you have to check out the Vidya Lakshmi portal at vidyalakshmi.co.in. It was put together under the guidance of the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, and the Indian Banks Association, and it's literally a one-stop shop for central education loans. Also, if you happen to live in states like West Bengal, Odisha, or Bihar, you've got access to student credit cards with incredibly low interest rates. You really need to know these resources exist so you can lock down your financial footing right from the start. Which brings us to Section 4, the reality of the job: environment, income, and growth. And this brilliantly illustrates what the day-to-day actually looks like. A backyard farmer isn't always just raising chickens. You might be caring for diverse domestic birds or even pigs and goats for egg, milk, or meat production. Some even manage sericulture or bee colonies for honey. Your office spans the backyard setup, the feeding and care areas, the storage zones, all the way to market outreach. It is a highly dynamic, multifaceted environment.
As for the grind, expect to put in about 8 to 9 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. It's hard work for sure. Shift duties and overtime are super common because, well, animals need constant care. But, and this is absolutely crucial, this field offers excellent, inclusive opportunities for differently abled individuals. Plus, there is huge room for direct entrepreneurship here. You can lock in wholesale contracts and essentially be your own boss.
Let's talk numbers. The expected approximate monthly income for a starting backyard or small poultry farmer sits right around 7,000 to 10,000 Indian rupees. Now, the key thing here is keeping our expectations grounded. This is a baseline. It's your foundational income while you get the farm up, running, and stabilized. But the great thing is, you don't stay at that baseline forever. The growth path is incredibly clear. You start as a farmer, learning the ropes, handling the day-to-day. But as you gain experience and expand, maybe putting those analytical and organizational skills to work, you advance to a farm manager role. Starting small literally paves the way for direct upward mobility. So what does this all mean for you? We've seen Yan Singh's amazing turnaround. We've mapped out the accessible education, the premier institutes, and the exact scholarships and low-interest loans designed to get you off the ground. We know exactly what treats it takes to pull this off. So with all the training and funding out there just waiting to be used, is your backyard the site of your next big enterprise? It's a pretty fascinating possibility, isn't it? Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer today. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you next time.